Tell Me a Story is it's actually based on an Argentinian, I believe it's Argentinian television series. Kevin Williamson adapted it for American television, and it's essentially takes fairy tales that we all grew up with as children. The Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, and it recontextualizes them. It puts them in New York City, and it humanizes them. So there's nothing supernatural about our show. These are actual humans, but they very subtly and very sort of intricately fill the shoes of these archetypes. So, like, my character is actually one of the little pigs, and I'm a guy who's down on his luck, who's comes from a very sort of broken life, and I make a choice to do something quite bad, and that is the catalyst for the story of the Three Little Pigs, and that is how Jordan, James's character, and I intersect. So I hope I explained that okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's basically fairy tale set in a modern day setting, grounded in real life. Like, what would the version of Hansel and Gretel be if it was a brother and sister who had to deal with some event happening in New York City? What is the story of Little Red Riding Hood? It's the story of a teenage girl who strays from home and what happens. So it's very grounded, and it's not at all fantasy, but it borrows fairy tale elements.
So is it more about extracting the moral or the metaphor of the story and contextualizing it?
That's exactly right, yeah. Which I think will be fun for audiences at home, because we all know those stories, whether they were told to us by our grandparents when we were kids or whether we read them in school. Those stories live in all of us. So I think to see it manifested, in a 10-episode series in an adult drama is going to be exciting for people to watch. Yeah.
Does it turn the stories on their ear at all, like kind of twist them?
Well, yeah, I think Kevin's sort of taken the liberty. We don't know what happens because we've only been exposed to 4 episodes, and we've only shot really like 1 or 2-ish. We're crossboarding, but Kevin says that at least he did in the panel that we just did, the big panel, that the outcome in the fairy tale may not be the outcome in our story. So he may twist it. And so, for example, the Three Little Pigs, the third pig who built his house of brick was the one who outsmarted the wolf. And hard work, is what sort of was his great sort of strength. But in today's world, does hard work really pay off? That's the question that he asked. So maybe that isn't. Maybe the little pig doesn't outsmart the wolf, for example.
Absolutely.